The highway. It's a nice day. You're driving on the highway to work. You have about an hour drive, going at a nice consistent speed. Nothing's going wrong. You're going straight ahead. There's hardly any traffic. You're easily going in and out of your lanes that you need to be going out of, and you're enjoying it. You got some decent music playing, but all of a sudden you hit a pothole and you kind of jerk forward. You kind of jerk off of the road a little bit. Then you recenter back on. You start breathing a little heavy, and then you start to think. But then you start to think a little bit more. And then you start to think way too much. And then all of a sudden you're trying to switch lanes without a turn signal, and he honks his horn at you, and you jerk the other way, and you're freaked out. And then a full-blown anxiety attack wraps its clutches around your head. You're panicking. You're not thinking straight. You feel kind of dizzy. You're breathing hard. You're really trying to focus right. You're really trying to focus what is right in front of you. Your depth perception becomes impossible almost, and you're struggling. And all you're thinking is, when is the next fucking exit? I have to get the fuck off the highway. Fun fact about me, I've always struggled with highway anxiety. I've overcame it, but also had it come right back into me multiple times, at least 4 times. As I said in previous videos, I was naturally born with ADHD, so I had natural anxiety tendencies that just made me struggle with mostly everything as I was growing up. And driving was a big one. My grandpa gave me my first car. It was his old car, and I was driving home from football practice, and a lady was right in front of me, didn't use a turn signal, and came to a full stop. And as she was stopping, then she hit her turn signal, and I rear-ended her, and it totaled my car. And it quite possibly could almost broke my neck. That car was wrecked. But that lady was fine. Didn't act fine. Tried to sue me with some bullshit lawyer. Didn't even fucking work, idiot. But after that, that's what started it all with my driving anxiety. I went through driving school to get my license. I had to take the written test twice because anxiety, test anxiety, it's all a part of it. It is, it really is. It's all a part of it. It's just anxiety. It's just all a part of it. Anyways, I also had to retake the driving portion test twice as well. And you want to know why I had to repeat that driving portion test twice? Because on my first attempt, I had to go on the highway, and I froze right in the middle of the ramp. I was so embarrassed. I freaked the instructor out. My dad was freaking out. And of course, I failed. But I think I've mentioned this in another video as well, is people with anxiety tend to do it more correct or right 100% the second time around. But as that was all going on, I finally got my license. I was still trying to avoid the highway as much as I can. Life has a way of putting your struggles right in front of you so you can overcome them. And when I went to college, I had a 4-hour drive up north, Michigan. I had to conquer there and back. And I had to drive it so many times. And it was terrifying each time. But I overcame it. I did it. Coming back from college, I was more decent on the highway. I knew I had to get more back onto it because I had to go to work. I had to make some money. I had to pay my bills, I had to pay my school loans. But as that was going on, once I got my first decent job, there was a back road that was closer. And I was tempted, so I ended up taking the back road, and that brought my anxiety all full centered back into circle. And then after that job, I had to take another job, which paid more, even farther, and even more treacherous highway, and I had to do it, and I completely did it. All my jobs, I've worked third shift. You're a zombie when you're going home. And majority of my panic attacks after college from working are because driving home on the highway in the morning puts a toll on you. Puts a toll on you mentally. You have to be awake. You can't fall asleep. And if you slip just a little bit, you're freaking out and you have a panic attack. And that's what happened to me twice. And up to current day, I'm driving on the highway just fine. There's some simple tips that I'm going to share in this video that really helped me overcome this anxiety and help to keep at ease. Tip 1, acceptance. Accept the fact that you have to drive on the highway. You have to. That's just how it is. There's no way around it. If you find a back road, that's not good. It's not a good thing to do. You can't just keep pushing it off, letting it get worse. It just has to happen. You have to accept it. If it makes you feel any better, do your research. Train yourself to believe that it is safer to drive on the highway, because it is safer to drive on the highway. It's a straight shot. You're going to be fine. Yes, you are going faster, and that is the intimidating part, but you have to accept it. It's just how it is, and there's nothing changing it. Tip 2, you are in charge. There's no one driving that car besides you. If anything happens in that car, it's in your control. When people have panic attacks like that, they feel not in control of their own selves. That something is controlling them and pushing them down into something that they can't escape. And that's what creates panic, is when a force takes a hold of you and it feels like you can't escape, that force is suffocating you, taking control of you, when you have no control at all, and it makes you panic. But I'm here to tell you, you are in charge, and that's it. And all those other feelings are an illusion. And the best way to make you feel like you're more in charge is to think positively, enjoy your surroundings, and breathe in and breathe out. Take a nice breath through your nostrils, a big breath, and then slowly exhale through your mouth. You are in control. Tip number 3, step outside your comfort zone. You get a different mindset when you drive on the highway more than you do when you're not on the highway. You get to be a lot more focused because you're going a lot more faster. People around you are going a lot more faster. So you have to step out of a certain comfort zone to get to the zone where you drive in the highway. And the thing with the highway is you have a lot more control than you think because you are going a lot more faster. And you have to have the mindset it feels good to be in control. It feels good to be in the driver's seat. It feels good to step out of my comfort zone and be in control of this vast road, going fast, enjoying the straight shot ahead. Tip number 4, practice breathing methods with mindfulness meditation. As I mentioned in tip number 2, breathing will really level your playing field. It will bring you to Zen. It will calm you down completely, and it will make you very present. And that's what you want when you're on the highway. You want to be very alert, very present, know all your surroundings, and then relax because everything around you is at ease and you know what's going on. So there's nothing to worry about. Through all the books on mindfulness and quotes I've read about mindfulness, one practice to mind works out perfectly. And it's explained about through everything I've read. So when you're breathing, you want to focus on the middle of your nose. Focus on the middle of your nose like that. Inhale. You almost kind of want to see your nostrils twitch a little bit. You want to make sure that air is being flowed in correctly. You want to focus your depth perception onto the middle of your nose. And then exhale slowly through your mouth. Now, if you're having a hard time focusing while breathing, a way to counteract that is to count inside your head. So breathe in. And then your head, say 1. When you exhale, 2, 3, 4. And it does work, because a way to tell that it works is your breathing becomes not so hard. And you want to get to a point where your breathing is silent. Because when your breathing is silent, that is considered you being completely calm. That is you completely calm. Tip number 5, take it slow. If you really have to, if you really feel like you're going to have a panic attack, take it slow. Go on the slow lane. In Michigan, most of the speed limits at its highest are 75, and if I'm feeling a little anxious when I'm driving, I go under that. I go about 70, and then I go into the right lane, which is the slow lane, and I just take my time. Nothing's bothering me. I'm going at a nice, perfect speed. I'm not hammering on the wheel, zooming by, not gonna miss anything, not freaking out at all. And that's just the way to take it with any speed limit on any highway and anywhere you are. If you feel like you're gonna be anxious, take it slow, go in the slow lane, and at least go 5 under the normal speed limit. If you're still feeling kind of anxious, take it maybe a bit slower, but do not go past 10. If you're going past 10, you're going way too slow. It's the highway. I mean, come on. Tip number 6, create a highway playlist you can play and sing along to almost. So like I mentioned, I work thirds, and I'd have to drive home in the morning on thirds on the highway. And a perfect way that helped me stay focused while driving is creating a playlist that I can, well, at the beginning of it all, I would just scream it because that's the only way it could get me home. But I had familiar songs on the list that I enjoyed, that kept me calm, and that kept me focused. And the funny thing, these songs you'll come to see are majority songs that you grew up with as a kid because you have such good memories from them. Those songs really help. They do. Try it out. Tip number 7, chew. Chew on something. Create noise in your mouth. Move your jaw up and down. Chew some gum. Chew something crunchy, some crackers, some chips. Chew a pickle. Pickles are very crunchy, so yeah, eat a pickle. Tip number 8, if it gets so bad, research exposure therapy locally to you. Exposure therapy will help you go through a process of eliminating the anxiety to an extreme level. Hence the word in the name, exposure. It's a certain type of therapy that helps you expose yourself to your fears, basically, that help you eliminate the anxiety. And if it gets to a point where you just feel like you have no control whatsoever and you need help, research it and do it. And tip number 9, be comfortable in your car. Have good upkeep. Have the right kind of car. Another main thing that I struggled with for a little bit is I would always drive cars that were way too small for me, and I'd kind of be crunched in there, like almost head pressed against the windshield, and of course that would cause anxiety. I'm a bigger guy, I'm 6'4", so that happened. But also having good upkeep on your car, because if you're driving around in a piece of shit, you're going to drive like a piece of shit. Just remember, clean and pristine equals good self-esteem. And that's exactly what you want when you're driving on the highway. You want to have good self-esteem. Guys, why don't you drive your fingers to that subscribe button, baby? And if you know anyone who struggles with driving anxiety and you feel like this video helped, share it to someone. And if you feel like my content in general really helps you, link below. Sign up for a free coaching session. Maybe I can help you even more. Thank you. You guys are going to have a great day.